not the leader of a cult. RabbitWithAxe.
Greetings, demons, and welcome to something a little bit different. You may notice we are currently on the actual item shop. We're about to see the reset, and the reason that I'm starting the video here is for one very special reason, and that is in relation to the fact that tonight we get sidekicks. So I'm going to go through all of them here. This isn't an item shop video. But yeah, sidekicks, new cosmetic type, and this is a comparable drop to the first kicks drop we got. I believe the first time we got kicks we got 4, and then the literal, like, either next day or 2 days later we got another 4. So here we have a total of 6 different sidekicks. Okay, and yeah, we'll get to something with Bonesy in a moment, but yeah, we have Doggo Jr., obviously a variant or whatever psychic version of the Doggo outfit. I'm not going to go through the details of everything, but I just want to kind of look at what's available here. I quite like that he has the classic Doggo hoodie there. Very nice. As I'm not going through everything, but just going to look at some things. But yeah, 1,500 for Doggo Jr. A bit expensive. We got Color Team Jr., who is kind of cool. What are the variants? What do you actually get? Oh wow, it's the backpack straps. Or the bow straps or whatever. That is... okay, that is not that good. That is very disappointing. At least you could have different colours and stuff. Yeah, this isn't the best one. 1,500 as well, though. It is the only humanoid one. It's the only one that's standing on 2... well, I say that little raptor, but... yeah, interesting. Flop sticks. Different colour options. What are the unlockables? We've got the Skelly. Little skeletons design on the hat. We've got Scaly, fish scales on the hat, and then Starry. Once again, not that impressive. Not that impressive. What are the actual options? Can you change the bubble colour? No, you can't. Okay, so the bubble is always going to be blue. For 1,500 again. That is, I didn't mean to click on that. That is... yeah, so far, all 3 of these I do not think are even close to being worth it. We'll come back to Bonesy. Lil Raptor, 1,200. We do have a little sweater. A few different designs on that. Cute enough, nothing too special, but I like it. What's the emote on this one? I'm interested. Egg tricks. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. What are the colour options? Okay, not bad. Not bad. There's a nice variety, it has to be said. Get different patterning as well. Different eye colour. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. The quill design can be different. And then you can have either feathers that are straight or feathers that are splayed. That's kind of cool. Okay, there's a lot of variety here. There's actually so many options here. And I'd actually say the sweaters aren't bad. I quite like the sweaters, in all fairness. Unironically, 1,200, I don't think it's that bad. I think this one might actually be worth it. Lil Raptor might be the one that I think is actually worth it. And then we've got Spike, who's interesting. Doberman style, or I think it's a Doberman is the type of dog. Yeah, fair enough. You get 2 different body armor types. That's it, though. Presumably there's supposed to be more stuff, but yeah, there's only 4 unlockables apparently for Spike, at least currently. Yeah, the colours are to be expected. It's a dog. It's a normal dog. You're not really getting too much out of it. Yeah. 1,200 as well. I think Spike is okay value. I wouldn't necessarily go for Spike personally. I'd go for Bonesy. Lil Raptor's definitely worth it in my opinion. I think the customization options are pretty good for him. The 1,500's too much. Far too much, in my opinion. Like, all 3 of these are definitely not worth it. But, as I said, moving back to Bonesy, you may notice, I already have Bonesy unlocked. If you don't know, if you have the Bonesy back bling, so let's quickly just get that open. They've still not fixed the typing issue on here. But yeah, Bonesy. So Bonesy was a back bling in Season 6 of Chapter 1. We'll say it back to the default tan color scheme. And yeah, this is one of the pet back blings. A lot of people will know about these. Empress is one of the item shop ones, so you may be more familiar with her. But yeah, Bonesy was an original pet back bling with a few different options. I never actually got the complete pass for Season 6, so I didn't unlock Mocha, but the white style and the tan style I do have, and I do quite like the white style. I do equip it every once in a while. I don't use back blings in general very much, but yeah, Bonesy is pretty nice. And yeah, because of that, they gave everybody that owned that back bling a Bonesy. And this is my Bonesy. It's called Casper. And oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to open the edit styles. You do still have to unlock everything, same as you would normally. But at the end of the day, like, you're getting one for free. We already get Peels if you actually have the Battle Pass, and you get Bonesy if you already own the Bonesy back bling, which I think is fair enough. But this brings up a concern that I've had since the announcement of Sidekicks and the fact that we were going to be able to buy multiples. Is there going to be a discount when you already own it? And no. Bonesy is 1,200, regardless of if you own it already or not. And this is really disappointing. Like, I'm not saying that I want to be paying anything at all. I would rather it just be that you have unlimited customizations and you can, do all this stuff as much as you want. If I want to make an apricot-coloured one or a black-coloured one or whatever, I can do that indefinitely. I shouldn't have these locked down to multiple purchases. But the fact that I already own Bonesy and yet have to buy him for full price if I want a slightly different look, I think is really, really questionable, and in general just a really bad decision by Epic. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are a bit iffy about Sidekicks here, and if we just quickly, just for a comparison, the previous new cosmetic that we got, Kicks, are also, let's be honest here, a shit show. We're looking at a bunch of collaboration ones right now, so none of these are Fortnite originals, but the lowest is 800, and most are actually most are 800 in this case, but yeah, a lot of them are 1,000, including ones that are just basic recolors. So the Crocs Classic Clog Varsity Red right here is 1,000, and it is a red Croc. It has customization, which is fair enough, but it is just a standard Croc in red. You may already know if you've been following this channel for a while, I do have some Kicks. I've bought a decent amount of them. I'm not necessarily happy about all that. But we do have, in my locker, the Crocs Classic Clog White. Now, these have the exact same customization. They have different gibbets, which is fair enough, but otherwise, all the same customization. They're just the white Crocs. Why is it that when I've already paid 1,000 for white Crocs, I'm having to pay a full 1,000 for red Crocs? And I'm not saying, oh, I should get the Crocs Classic Cozy Slippers for, a discount, because this is a different style shoe, it's a different model, that's, somewhat reasonable. These are the exact same models what I'm already wearing. So they should either be an edit style color option for the ones I already own, or there should be some form of discount for already owning a version of the exact same base model. I'm not a fan of the way that Kicks are, and the fact that we are already seeing that Sidekicks are being done in a very, very similar way, if not worse, by the fact that you actually have to buy it multiple times for different unlockable options. It's very, very questionable. And as I say, I really like Little Raptor. Little Raptor of all these, I think is my actual favourite. I really like it. And I honestly think that based on the options available and also the unlockable rewards, this one probably is worth it to most people. It gives you a lot of dinosaur stuff. People love the dinosaur skins. I'm a huge fan of classic the Rex skin and stuff like that. And in general, I think this is a very good little sidekick to have. But the fact that if I want one that's green and one that's blue, maybe I'm a fan of Jurassic World and I want a blue. I can't remember what blue actually looks like. I'm not a huge fan of those films, surprisingly. But yeah, say I wanted a blue. There we go, I've got blue. But then I'm like, oh, but I want one that matches with Rex. So I now need to get a green one. And, oh, well, you know, I have a combo that I run all the time that's red. I want a red Rex, a Rex Raptor, a red Raptor, that's what I'm trying to say, to go with my red outfit. I then have to buy another one. And just to get the 4 color options, you're spending 4,800 V-Bucks. And just to put that in perspective of pricing, that's nearly 28 Great British pounds. Which, I don't think I have to tell you, is kind of ridiculous. Especially when it is something that you should just have access to. The color options, bare minimum, the color options should just be, you know, edit styles. And that goes for the accent as well. I can almost accept these being locked behind multiple purchases. Almost. I'm not saying they should be. By any means, no. Like, I would rather everything be just available when you make one single purchase. But if it was a case of you choose one outfit, you choose a little costume, but you have unlimited options when it comes to the colour and the style of your actual animal, I think that's fine. Or at least it's a hell of a lot better than this current situation. And especially when we are looking at them and they are 1,500 for 3 of them, compared to 1,200 for the other 3, it is insane. And that is, you know, not even mentioning, obviously we've spoken about peels a little bit. You get 2 peels in the past. You get the page 1, tier 1 peels, which is fine. That's all good. It means you get to try out the new cosmetic immediately. And then you get a second peels in the bonus rewards, in the first page of the bonus rewards. There are 3 different variants. And I'll quickly just go over this, just so you can kind of see it, assuming I can actually look at the different options here. Because I currently have a overripe, not an overripe. Oh, you can't even check it. Oh no, that's probably a problem. I can't check that apparently. But yeah, there are 3 different color options. There's the full yellow, the yellow with brown splodges, which is what I have equipped. And then there is also the green variant, the, I guess, underripe version. And the fact that you can't have all 3 of them from the Battle Pass, you only get 2 of those. And if you are someone who ends up choosing 2 of the same base color, you're just stuck with 2 of the same base color. I think that's a really stupid way of doing these things. And in general, all of these, I think, should just be a single purchase. The fact that they're not is really, really strange to me, and honestly, kind of disappointing in a lot of ways. I was very excited for the idea of Sidekicks, and I'm sure when I see some collaborations and some other stuff like that, I'll, you know, end up buying some. You know, if they add Stitch, for example, as a sidekick, if they add Grogu, if they add Yoda, that would be really fun. Like, stuff like that. I will probably go ahead and get them. R2-D2 as a sidekick would be awesome. But, like, I really don't like the precedent that this actually sets up for the future of Fortnite cosmetics, because it shows that they are willing to make us pay multiple times for the exact same thing with just a slightly different coat of paint. And the fact is, you can go for the same option. So let me just quickly make my version of Bonesy here. So I currently have this Bonesy. This is the Bonesy I have. This Bonesy cost me an extra 1,200 V-Bucks if I want it. This is the one I own. This cost me an extra 1,200. Do you recognize, and I'm sure you do because you're watching this video, how idiotic and honestly kind of stupid this is? That this is something I already own. This will cost me an extra 1,200 V-Bucks. And once again, just to put it in perspective, for the exact value of that, okay, it's not actually showing me exactly, but ignoring that I have 200 V-Bucks already, we're talking $6.99 for 1,000 V-Bucks, so it's about, and I'm saying about as a very relative term, about £9, roughly, for myself to get a slight variant on the exact same animal I already have in-game. That is insane, and there will be people who are like that. There will be people who make a slight alteration to their specific animal, and I'm sure with something like Bonesy or Spike or Doggo, it's not going to be the case, but maybe with Cuddle Team Leader, let's go over it real quick. Maybe you really like it being pink, because that's the basic. But you really want it to be black-gloved, for whatever reason. Like, you made the original one, and you gave it the pink or purple gloves, whatever, magenta is what you list it as. You know, you gave it the magenta gloves, because that's the default. You just wanted a normal-looking Cuddle Team Junior. But you decide, you know what, actually, I want black gloves. You now have to spend an extra 1,500 V-Bucks just for that variance. And you know, it's even stupid when it is the full colours. I think that this should just be available from the start and forever. I don't think you should have to buy them multiple times over. I think it's actually an insult to the player base that they've done it like this. And that is basically my thoughts on this. That is everything I wanted to say about the idea of sidekicks. And I'm not against sidekicks in-game. I love having my sidekicks. I've been running Kay and Casper since I've had them. They are really fun. I love having them near me. And it is just a really fun experience having a little friend just following you around. It is very nice. But when they cost this much and you don't have unlimited access to the customization, compare the more expensive ones, the 1,500 Cuddle Team Junior. Compare that to the fact that superhero skins, which have... In fact, let's see. Do I have one of my presets set up with Wolfsbane? Here we go. So if I quickly go into the customization here for a superhero skin, you can see I have all these different patterns, all these different head and hairstyle combos. We have all the different masks, the belts, unlimited colors with unlimited material customization for both the secondary color and primary color. We've got the accessory color. We've got eye glow, which can be turned on or off, and also change the color. You've also got the skin and hair color, which, while I think should be a little bit more varied than it is, still is unlimited. You can do it as much as you want. And then you can also customize them with emoticons, if you really want to. Those are all great features. These outfits, Dynamo Dancer is the one that I have, are 1,800 V-Bucks. For all that customization, available forever, no caveat. 1,800 V-Bucks. That is 300 more V-Bucks than the Cuddle Team Junior Sidekick to be able to customize the colors once. You can choose the base, accent, and eye color one time. And then if you ever want a different color, if you want it to have blue eyes, red gloves, and orange fur, that'll cost you an extra 1,500 V-Bucks. Do you know how much it cost me to change my Wolfsbane here into something else? Say I wanted my Wolfsbane to instead be a member of the Fantastic Four. There we go, that is free. I can just leave. I can just leave that. That's fine. There we go, done. That is my character. I have unlimited access to the customization on it. Sidekicks do not have that benefit. Sidekicks, no matter what, have to be rebought every single time you want any customization change. The only things you have access to are the sweaters and other clothing options, the reactions, which thankfully are universal, so the more outfits, the more sidekicks you get, the more reaction options you actually have, and then the emotes, which presumably they're going to sell sidekick-specific emotes in the shop that are going to be universal. I can't say that with certainty, but the fact that so far each only have one emote per sidekick means to me they are definitely going to be selling individual sidekick emotes in the future. And who knows how much they're going to be. Most emotes right now, most regular human, player emotes, if we quickly go to Victory Vibes, 500. And these are all copyrighted music. This is all stuff that has a license fee. If we quickly just go down, got 500 for Ribbon Dancer, Office Chariot 500, got Tiny's Violin for 200. Do you really think they're not going to say, oh, Sidekick emotes are actually 800? Because that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to be paying out the nose for customization relating to sidekicks because they know that it will work. The fact is, it probably won't show right now because I don't think it will have appeared yet, but these will be in the top sellers for this shop. I 100% guarantee that. Despite the prices being ridiculous, despite the fact you have to buy them multiple times in order to actually get all the customization you want, these will be top sellers for tonight. And that is in itself insane to me. But with all that being said, that's really all I can say. That's really all I want to say about this. This is a very interesting situation where Epic are really pushing what they can get away with in terms of what cosmetics they can actually sell and for what prices and with what caveats. And I can only hope that people really do as they're going to say. And as I want Lil Raptor. I don't think I'll actually end up buying Lil Raptor. I already have 2 sidekicks. I can live without having Lil Raptor. That may change in the future. I may end up buying it at some point. I may end up buying, as I say, if they add Stitch or if they add Grogu or whatever else, something from a franchise that I love as, a collaboration sidekick, I may end up getting that. Same with Crypto. Crypto's already leaked to be coming. Empress as well, my favourite pet back bling. There's a lot of characters that I would love to see as sidekicks. But as of right now, I can only hope that these don't do well, so that Epic can backtrack, say, hey, sorry, we messed up, here's unlimited customization, you only have to buy it once, anyone that bought it multiple times gets refunded. That is my hope. But as of right now, I don't think it's going to happen. But with that being said, that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss upload. Otherwise, comment below your thoughts and feelings on sidekicks. And if you are interested in seeing the process that I went through to actually create my first sidekick, Peels, or K as I named it, you can actually check out that video. I'll have it linked in the description below. It's also on my channel if you are interested. But with that being said, it's going to be it from me. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divide. I just wanna take